beginning of a toxic relationship? When do you leave a toxic relationship? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Black and Blend Black to the blending. How you guys doing? If you're new to this channel, please do consider subscribing below and turning on the notification bell so that you are notified every time we post a video. Happy New Year to everybody watching this video. I hope you guys had a fantastic Christmas and you are ready to take on 2021. We are going to make this year our year, even if it's not. We're gonna do it. So today I just thought we can have a conversation about abuse in a marriage. And the reason why I'm actually recording this video is because my mom and I and my sister-in-law had a conversation about it. And the way my mom sees it and the way I see it is like so different. So I just thought I would, I just make this video. And in the comment section below, we can all just give opinions, what we think, when would you leave, and stuff like that. So I'm just going to give you a random scenario like I gave my mom, and we can take it from there. So this couple has been married for 7 years, and for the first time, the husband decides to beat his wife, and he doesn't just smack her. He kicks her on the floor, hit her, punch her back, slap her in the face, and whatever you can think of. He did it, right? So then, as a woman, you decide to pack your things and go because you don't want to be in a relationship with a man who abuses you and who doesn't see your worth. And whatever your reason, I don't know what you did to him, to allow him to act that way, but he acted the way he thought was good, right? So that's the same scenario I gave to my mom. And this is what my mom says. My mom says you cannot leave a marriage because your husband hates you. You cannot leave a marriage because your husband cheats. And I understand where she's coming from, because in the olden days or in the olden time, it was okay. It was okay for a man to have a million wives. It was okay for a man to hit his wife because he has paid lobola for her, or because they have children, or whatever the reasons were. But for me, what I was telling her is it's not just about the new generation, but at the same, I wouldn't honestly want somebody to hit me. Even if you hit me once, I'd also want to end the relationship, because the one time could be opening doors to a million more times. You understand? And I feel like if you stay, you are basically sending a message that it's okay for you to hit me. You understand? So my mom, what she said was okay, so an example is if my husband and I have to have an argument and he hits me and I pack my bags and I go to my mother's house, they will bring me back. They'll bring me back. They'll have a conversation with me and my husband to tell him never to do it again, and that he should love me and I should respect him and I should control what I say to him, and he should show me he loves me, because if he shows me he loves me, then I respect him more. But if he doesn't show me the love, then the love I have for him also decreases, becomes lower and lower, and then I won't have respect for him and stuff of that sort. But then I was just okay, so when will you tell me to leave? At what point in my abusive marriage will you tell me to leave? Because now you're telling me if a man cheats, I can't leave. If a man hit me, I can't leave. Then when do I leave? Then she's no, marriage is forever, and marriage is not something where you go in and you leave because somebody decides to slap you, or somebody decides to do this, or somebody decides to do that. Then I turned around the story and I was okay, so let's assume I'm the one that hits my husband. You understand? If I'm the one that hits him, then what would be the advice for, she's first and foremost, you can't hit a man. Secondly, a woman, I forgot what she said, but then she said something along the lines of, a woman that hits a man has no self-respect or something of that sort, because your husband is the head of the family, therefore he becomes the god of the house, and you should listen and obey whatever he says and stuff like that. So I was just am I the only one who feels this way? Am I the only one who feels in a relationship, when a man hits you, I'm not saying that you should pack your bags and leave at the same time. Maybe it is worth listening, going back and sitting down and listening to what happened, or the reason why he did that, and what did you say that triggered that sort of behavior, which is not it's not excusable. You cannot hit me and be okay with it or get away with it. I personally don't like that. I don't agree with it. You understand? But for me, if I put myself in that situation, I'll be gone. Personally for me, I'd be okay, you know what, I'm out. But for other people, they wouldn't, right? Even if I do say I'm out, I still want to go and find out what it is I did that was so dramatic, or what it was so whatever I did triggered you in a point for you to hit me. But for me now, the question out there is for you, like, when will you leave an abusive relationship? Like, would you wait for him to hit you 3, 4 times, 5 times before you leave, or would you leave the first hit? And like, is it okay to leave a marriage first hit, or is it not okay? And what like what would be your reason for staying? Because for me personally, I feel like my main reason is, once somebody does something and you go back, it's not going to stop. Like, if a man cheats once and he comes to you and he says, I apologize, I'm not going to do it again, it's a lie. The chances are he will do it back, he will do it again, and the chances are like 99 out of 100, he will do it back, he will do it again, because it's just a thing. He knows that, okay, if I come back and I apologize, then everything is okay. It's the same thing with the man that hits you. If he hits you now, then the next time he hits you again, he knows he can say sorry. And the worst part is, men know that our parents are like, no, a woman can't leave a marriage if you cheat on her, and a woman can't leave a marriage if you hit her. So they use that to their advantage, knowing that, okay, whatever I do, you understand, like, nothing's gonna happen. She's not gonna leave me, her family's gonna bring her back and stuff like that. But for me, it's like, okay, so when does a woman have the right to leave a toxic relationship? Like, do you even believe, like, because I was asking my mom, like, do you believe that there's a toxic relationship? Like, is there such thing as a toxic relationship? She's like, yeah, there is. When a man hits you every time for no reason, and he drinks alcohol and does this, and I'm like, okay, but would you advise that person to leave? Then she's like, yeah, I should advise him to leave if he drinks alcohol. So if he doesn't drink alcohol, and this happens in a sober, he's sober and everything, she doesn't see the reason for that person to leave. And it's a sad society, it's a sad situation, because she's not the only one that thinks that way. There's a lot of other people that think that way. But my question to you today is, when do you leave a toxic relationship? Like, how many times do you have to get punched in the face, sworn and cheated on before you say, I've had enough and I'm leaving? And when will your family support you? Like, will your family support you whenever? Or like, what's the reason? Like, what reason do you have to give a family for them to support the fact that, okay, this is an abusive relationship, it's not healthy for me, it's not healthy for my kids, and I need to go? Because something that I feel like they don't understand is, whatever the kids see in their parents' marriage, that is what they end up with. It's like, let me just take a breath, this is getting personal. But anyway, there's a higher chance of a child raised by a single mom to get married to run away from his kid than there is of a person who is born in a neutral family to leave their kid, if you get what I mean, right? So it's like, I don't understand. Like, guys, I really am hoping somebody out there can help me understand the situation, can help me understand that, okay, it's okay to stay in an abusive relationship for this amount of years or this amount of time. Like, your tolerance level should be like this as a woman. And for a man, because I feel like right now in the world, it's like this, right? So the men can do whatever and get away with it. But once you do it, you become a hoe, you become all the dirtiest thing, you are Satan's daughter and whatever it is. And the man does the exact same thing, and he's praised for it, like he's really a man, he's a true man. That's what makes you a man, and whatever that stuff is. And I feel like it's wrong, you understand? Because it should be an equal thing. Whatever you do that's wrong, whatever a man does that's praised, that he's praised for, a woman should be praised for as well. Whatever a man does that he's not praised for or criticized for, the woman should do it as well. And I just feel like we should start having conversations with our daughters and our sons about the importance of being in healthy relationships. And healthy relationships is where you are happy, where you're generally happy. This person makes you happy. This person puts you first. This person thinks about you. This, before they do anything, they consider, okay, if I was in her shoes, how would I feel? If I was here, how would I feel? I feel like with our boys, it's a different thing. You understand? Like with our boys, it's a thing of go and conquer. You do whatever you want. You know, if you make a girl pregnant, just take care of it. And with the women, it's like, okay, just be careful. Don't fall pregnant. don't do this and don't do that because society is going to do this and society is going to say that. And then at the same time, you're thinking, why isn't society saying the same thing to the boy like they're saying to the girl? You know, and I understand that when they talk about us not falling pregnant is because we're the carrier. But at the same time, males or boys should be taught from a young age that if you make a girl pregnant, it is your responsibility to take care of their child. And if that girl comes home to the husband, to the boyfriend's family and tells them that they are pregnant, they should make sure that they force, or not force per se, but they make the boy aware of the importance of him being in their child's life, because it's the consequences of the actions that he took. And I feel like, honestly, we need to start having these conversations with our sons, with our daughters, about the importance of equality, because what a man does, a woman can do. What a woman can do, a man can do, besides giving birth, of course. That's our superpower. But I just feel like this conversation was kind of like an eye-opener, that we are raised in a way where men can do whatever and it's okay, and we can't do whatever we want to do because we are women, and society is gonna say bad things about us and whatever of that sort. And that's wrong. That is incorrect. I don't like it, and I'm not gonna stand for it. And my kids will know every wrong, like everything comes with consequences. You understand? You cannot do something wrong and then expect it to be right. I will never allow my son hit his wife and encourage them to be together. Like, oh no. You understand? I have to make sure that my son never gets to a point where he lays his finger on a woman, because his dad doesn't do that. You understand? My husband doesn't hit me. He doesn't touch me. You understand? Even to argue in front of our kid, we don't do that, because we want him to know that, you should be, as a man, as a father, you should be loving, you should be caring, you should appreciate, you should do all of that. And as a woman, you should do the same thing. And these are the values that we want our kids to grow up with. You understand? It made me unhappy to have that conversation with my mom because of the way she spoke, but I understand that that was her point of view, and I didn't like it, but her point of view came from what she was taught. You understand? And I was taught the same thing, but then I was just like, no, I can't. I cannot accept it. You understand? So I just want us in the comment section below to just have this conversation. Like, what's abuse for you? Like, what's the meaning of a toxic relationship? That's basically what we're talking about today. What's the meaning of a toxic relationship? When do you leave a toxic relationship? And is it okay to stay? And is it okay for our parents to force us to be in toxic relationships? Is it okay for our parents to force us to be in relationships that we don't want to be in? That's basically what we're having a conversation with today. I hope you guys like this video. Please do share it with your friends and family members. Comment in the comment section below. Give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. This is Black and Blending.